here with another exciting edition of This Week in Madden NFL 12. Back with me right now, SGibs of preeminent.com, showing off the bling bling, back from his honeymoon, and he is excited to get your mailbag questions tonight. Everything answered live on this show. And one thing I want to stress to you guys tonight is if you have a question, send it to us on Twitter with the hashtag TWIM, T-W-I-M, and you will get it answered. We're going to be taking questions in the live stream, so use the hashtag #TWIM. And we're going to start out by jumping into some game action right now before we take our first mailbag question. And then we're going to give away a copy of Madden 12 right now, within the first 5 minutes, right there.
Not even opened.
Brand new.
Not open.
Madden 12.
Sealed.
So be ready for your question right after S-Gibbs scores a touchdown. Gibbs, got to give these people some action. Let's go.
Want a TD? I'll give you a TD. I'll be using the Pats tonight, like I promised before earlier in the year, fellas. Big formation this year, and a lot of guys want to know what a hot formation is. We're going to take a look at the shotgun split close formation, why we like this formation.
Been breaking it down for years while he was away.
Years and years and years. So here we come out in the shotgun split close.
Little man-to-man.
Little man-to-man. What we like about this play so much is our far right wide receiver, you can notice here, is on a little C route, as you could call here. What we like to do in this situation is to try and free him up against a man-to-man coverage. So for the sake of this play, what we'll do here is we'll place our fullback Y, place him on a drag. Our far left wide receiver, Gronkowski, place him on a curl. That's our safety valve, Farls. And what do we use that for?
Well, when you're playing against man-to-man defense, curls are very effective. So that way, if the read to the right turns out to be false, you know you have that left-hand side for man-to-man where you can look later in your read. So you don't want to throw to him right away, but later in your read, you know you have him about 2 seconds after you snap it.
Right.
Boom.
Exactly. And then our slot receiver on the far right, we're going to place him on just a simple go, a vertical route, just in case the defense is playing any type of cover zero. And last but not least, we have Danny Woodhead in the backfield on a delayed blue route for protection. This is one of those plays, great base play. Simply what we'll do here is motion Hernandez out and snap about 2 yards outside. He's going to cut back in field, throw a high lead pass, and you get off field with Aaron Hernandez. You want a guy here that's got some good agility, acceleration, some good route running, get off the block after the catch of the ball. I want to go back into instant replay, and we'll show you how we like to just absolutely burn man-to-man coverage.
Split close here out of Kansas City Chiefs playbook. If you're just tuning into This Week in Madden, boom, just roast the coverage. So you got to start out with a play for the fans, and now we're going to jump in, and as we promised, we're going to give away a copy of Madden NFL 12 right now on this show. Gibbs, how can they win that right here?
Well, Farls, they're going to have to go on to Twitter, and you're going to have to send a message to our Twitter alias @PrimaGames and put the hashtag TWIM. First one to do it right
#TWIM.
now. Go. Ready, set, go. First one does it.
What do you have to answer, though? You have to tell us who the highest rated speed quarterback is with the current update. Who is the fastest quarterback in Madden NFL 12 right now? Send it to @PrimaGames or @MaddenBible with the hashtag TWIM. Boom, first guy in wins it. We will tell you later on the show. So right now, we're about to jump into some mailbag questions, but first I just want to show you guys, brought the iPad tonight. S-Gibbs got the iPhone. And what we did is we went and we downloaded from the App Store, we searched Madden 12, a nice Prima Games app. It's got all 32 teams broken down. So as you can see here, here's the Chicago Bears. You can access all this. Now with the Chicago Bears, you get full offensive, defensive scouting report, the team ratings, their dynamic player performance players, 3 of their top guys at each position, and full video. So the coolest thing about this is probably it goes to all full screen. So these are
Ooh,
5 sets for success. That was me.
Was
that was
that,
my that was my stick work.
The
not
computer?
yours.
Was that the computer?
That was me.
I don't know.
So here's a Devin Hester screen, for example. So a 3-header rushing attack for all 32 teams, as well as 5 sets for success: man beater, zone beater, quick pass, beat at the blitz, or in a base play, which beats both man and zone. So for all 32 teams, you can go and download that. So iPad, iPhone, App Store right now.
Get involved.
So hopefully you guys are sending in your answers right now, and S-Gibbs is going to jump into the first of over 10 mailbag questions tonight, and we're also taking live questions. We got the game of the week coming up later. Let's get into some game action, get you guys going.
I'm excited.
It's pumped. Feels so good to be back.
I had some butterflies.
Peyton Hillis. We brought Peyton Hillis with us this week.
Peyton Hillis is always watching us day and night. I was a little nervous, had some butterflies, but let's get into the first mailbag of the 2012 season for myself. From Heat Fan D3, could you show a defensive tip on how to stop the I-form tackle over? We can do that, absolutely.
And now this is a prominent play in our Jets run-heavy winning playbook, is the I-form tackle over. The thing I really like about it is if people come out and they're able to play a nice, solid run defense against a strong close formation, the three-headed rushing attack, that means that they're balanced. But the I-form tackle over, you have a whole extra tackle on the right side of the line, so the formation is weighted totally strong to the right. So if they try and play that same balanced defense, you're able to just power through because they still are only, you have extra blockers over to that right-hand side. And that's what I did last week against Big Slow. I was able to really show off. We'll run the Jets book here.
That's what I heard. I heard you were able to really pound the rock.
Honestly, so I know he bought our 4-6 defensive book, so I knew he had our run defense to really lock up and play balanced defense. But as soon as I just started coming out and quick hitting him with the I-form tackle over, he wasn't adjusting to the weight of the formation. I was able to break one with Ahmad Bradshaw for a touchdown, get back in that football game. So it was very big, and I think the I-form tackle over, you'll see that a lot from people this year, but the Jets winning playbook, the run heavy, gives you two different formations to pound that run. So if one thing's not working, you can still, what happens is people get comfortable in one running set, I think. And when it stops working for them, they just abandon the run completely. So if they get shut down in the first two drives running, they just don't run anymore. But what I do is if I ever get shut down in my first two drives running, not often, I just simply head over to a different running formation and I don't abandon it. I will pass, but I don't abandon the run game completely.
I'll give it to Farles. He runs the ball extremely well.
I made a commitment. It has nothing to do with Eli Manning and how my passing game has been so far this season. It's been good, but has it been great? I still would rather run the ball.
So we've talked about this a lot of times in the years past. It's the same thing. Run defense is all about the numbers. You want to play a numbers game when you're playing run defense in Madden, just as you would on a Sunday game in the NFL. So if we take a look at the game footage here, what we want to take a look at is we come out in our base formation, which is the 46 normal. We really love this. This is our base set on defense. We like to audible to our cover 3. You take a look at the cover 3. The first thing we like to do is we like to pinch the line. What that's doing is that's kind of shutting down all the inside running lanes. What we like to do is place both D tackles on quarterback spies. And what that's going to do is if they do, for whatever reason, they're not running and they just simply look to pass, that's going to aid in our coverage if it is a pass.
Great coverage against short passes.
Right. So what we would normally do if it was a formation like strong eye close, what we want to do is create balance. So what we want to do is we take our both outside guys here, Arrington and then Barrett, and place them out on the outside here. And what this is doing is creating balance against the offense. As you can see here, we're completely balanced. We're forcing the run back up the middle of the field. But against a formation like I-form tackle over.
So this is Aaron Hernandez. He is lined up at left tackle. As you know, he is not a left tackle. He is more of a receiving threat at tight end. But however, our real right tackle is over to the right. And now we have also our left tackle over next to Gronkowski. Gronkowski is also a very beefy gentleman, great blocking. So now we have 2 studs extra over to the right and our regular tackle. So the weight of this formation is definitely one that we can win with to the right if they don't correctly align for it.
So what we're doing here is we want to overload the right side of the field. We're going to give that weak side run. Part of the reason we give that, Farles, is because we've done our homework. We know that the I-form tackle over has no stock run play to the left that's going to be able to get the ball outside in the New York Jets playbook.
Very important.
That's a very important
note.
And if they're going to run the ball left, they have to do a playmaker or they have to flip the play.
So you will see Tom Brady pat his side, and
now
you know that I can go to the left.
Now I might adjust. But the idea is we're taking away that right side. And what we do is we shade the safeties in. So then we take Chung. What it would look like is this. We're playing what's called inverted cover 2. We have 9 defenders in the box against the offense. They're not going to have enough guys to run the ball. As you can see, the outside running lane was stuffed. So normally on a halfback power row, on a halfback toss, you want to take that ball outside. But as you can see, look at that containment we have. We're forcing the run back up to the middle of the field towards the strength of our defense.
Even if I decided, he's got so many guys to the right, I can really bang it outside. No, it's still coming in from the left. I did see a little gain in the middle over there, but that run is more designed up the middle, or out to the outside with the power row.
One more time, just show them here.
So hang on, I'm going to go to the right here. And you'll see them, Pat. You'll know if you want to switch it up and be more balanced. But honestly, it's a weaker formation. Ooh. I'm just too good, basically. But it is a weaker formation to the left because Aaron Hernandez is not going to be able to block quite as good as Sebastian Vollmer would be out there.
We're okay with that, though. We had the outside containment again. We had outside containment. We're okay with that. You got through the blockers there, picked a nice block. I actually made a terrible user play there with Patrick Chung. But that's the idea is you want to force the I-form tackle over. You want to give them the weak side run. And if they start taking it, then you adjust from there. But your goal, take away the weak side run.
I mean, there's a reason they go to tackle over. They want to pound the ball. If they were going to get cute, they could simply just stay with what they have. All right, here we go once again. So it's just bottled up. It's just uncomfortable. I see a lot of action going over there. And now give me a sample of what you would do with Patrick Chung if you did see somebody playmaker at left. So there is no run that goes left unless you playmaker it. So it's an instant giveaway that you don't really need to watch the left side too close. You don't need to freak out about it like you would with the counter weak out of the strong close, which is a very, very potent run formation.
I would just do something like this. I'm going to stay back here. If you do playmaker, I'm going to come out to the weak side here, try to get outside, and that's the thing.
Still have guys
you
over
got to
there.
adjust. You got to adjust. But one quick adjustment you could make is take your linebackers, quick audible, and you can move your linebackers left to right. So as I can see here, I shifted them left. I can shift them right. So if they do playmaker, make a quick adjustment, shift the linebackers left, and now you're ready to stop that left side run, as you can see.
And you would rather run it right, to be honest.
You don't want to run too many weak side runs.
So here is the official Prima guide that we wrote, SGibs and I. You might have seen this at a few of the stores. Bunch of pages, so you can check that out.
Bunch of pages.
And also we have a special right now going on in Prima Madden, the Jets book, the Run Heavy, the Atlanta Balance Guide, and our Dallas Cowboys Pass Heavy Guide. If you buy all those, you get the 46 defense free, so there's a link up at the top of the page. It's worth checking out, absolutely, a great deal, and something that we really poured a lot of our stuff into you. So now you can run, now you can pass, and now you have the balance. We're going to hop in and take a look at the next mailbag question, and let's see what we have. We take questions leading up to the show all week. We get those ones on the show. And then we also do take some live. We're working in the chat. We're hashtagging TWIM on Twitter. So it's really good stuff. So let's take a look at that next mailbag question. See, there you didn't get the guys.
Here we have Thomas G. When using a team with elite linebackers and a weaker group of defensive backs, can you play nickel and dime DBs? Would you still use a 46 speed package?
Let's talk about that.
Great question.
Yeah.
On the EA podcast that you were on last week,
yeah,
you did mention the Bengals, and they'd be a perfect example for this, wouldn't they?
Absolutely. I mean, I really do think, shout out to a lot of guys over in the MB forums, Bengals, been just chatting them up, and I kept saying, I didn't believe it. It took me a while to believe the hype, because a lot of guys will come out with something and you'll be skeptical. But I kept hearing it, and I kept hearing Bengals, Bengals, Bengals. And so finally, I hop into game, I check out their depth chart after the update, and I just said, wow, this is a team that you cannot mess around with if you're talking about defense. You know, I've been working with their offense. I've made a few adjustments to make them as good as they can be, as they are one of the lower-rated teams at the game at only 71. But if you want a team that can play lock-up defense and you're not afraid to run the ball and use short throws, they're a team that you can really make some noise with in Madden NFL 12 this season. So we're going to hop in and talk about that question specifically. So the 46 normal package has 2 linebackers at backer and then at outside, so all 3. And then you have, when you go to speed package, you replace 2 of the linebackers, you leave the middle linebacker, but you replace the outside and the left linebacker with secondary players to give you more speed in the passing game. But what he's saying is if you have great linebackers that are almost even faster than your secondary, why not just leave them in there? And we're going to find out.
Take a look at the depth chart real quick here, Farls.
So I have them set up a specific way for our scheme that we use in the Prima Madden 46 guide, which is just fire. So let's see what we have here. And they got speed for days. So it all starts with the middle linebacker, I think.
You like Ray, and why do you like Ray? Ray is a beast. If you scroll over to his stat, you're gonna see 90.
So the thing with the Bengals is I do have the option to place Rivers 87, Lawson 89 speed, Howard 87 speed, Mock 91 speed, but I choose to stick with Ray in the middle because he has this little thing working out for him quite nicely.
He
has
the lumber.
97 hit power
and 90 tackle.
And 90 tackles.
Box
so
up.
In the middle of the field, he's protected, even though he's maybe not as fast as some of his teammates. He's more protected. He doesn't have to run outside, sideline to sideline, like some of in the other positions on the field. So then when we go to left outside linebacker, we like Manny Lawson in the game with his 89 speed off the edge. You can have him at the end, I think sometimes, but Gibbs likes him at outside linebacker because he's going to be out in coverage. He's going to be covering guys one-on-one. Same thing with the right outside linebacker.
We like to put Mock in there.
We like to put, yes.
There he is.
Dante Mock.
While he's a 60 overall, but he's got 91 speed. He's a playmaker. He's going to be able to make plays on the field.
91 speed, 92 acceleration. If you send him on a blitz, which we often do in this package, as you can see, and he can also cover anybody with that 91 speed pretty much. The cornerbacks is, so if you were to sub in the speed package, you'd have 91 speed we got to make some adjustments here.
Yeah. So what we'll do here is we go to our depth chart we like to take and put Pac-Man Jones there at number 2 with his 93 speed, good man coverage skills. Kelly Jennings, a recent pick up there. We stick him at our nickel back with 91 speed. And then our 4th spot here, we actually like to put Reggie Nelson. That's an interesting move. He's got good speed. He's a guy that if we use the speed package, we're actually going to gain a little bit more speed off of Lawson and Mock. But that's what we're going to get to a little bit further on in our explanation. So our free safety here, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Taylor Mays is 95 speed, 6'3", and a 92 hip power.
Great hip power, 6'3", awesome player right there in Madden NFL.
And a guy right here, sound in coverage. One of the most reliable players on this defense, Nate Clements.
Maybe not outside, he's a little slower with the 86 speed than some of his teammates, so we're going to really make sure we protect him at the safety position because he can match up with ball skills with anybody. You know what I mean? He can hang with people, but he doesn't have that elite speed that he used to have. And
then at DN, we're going for more speed again here. We have Thomas Howard at one DN and then Keith Rivers at the other DN. Interesting move that we make here, Farls. We're actually going to take out a
This is one time I agree with you.
A beefy D tackle, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to put Carlos Dunlap there. And then we're going to take Michael Johnson, take another beefy D tackle out, and we'll put more speed on the field. If you get run on, you got to sub back in. Pecco here. You got to put him back in the game. Take out Dunlap, put him back in the game just in case if they're starting to run the ball. But start the game off with these guys on your field. You're going to have one of the fastest lineups in the game.
And they have 6'6" and 6'7" size. So anytime you drop them over the middle, if you use a QB spy, they're going to be able to chase down faster quarterbacks. They're going to be just with their wingspan, they're like Michael Phelps in there, just causing trouble with their long wingspan.
In a situation where I would use a speed package, I would stick to the normal package for the majority of the game. But what would happen if it's 3rd and 24, right? Late game situation, they're driving. I probably would move to the speed package. You want a little bit better coverage on the field. You're going to take Lawson, take Mock off the field.
Anytime I see two wide receivers or less, I always go normal. Anytime I see 3, I debate, and then anytime I see 4, I go speed. Running. Yeah, but with an elite team like this, with the right lineup, is specifically how this question was asked. I really think you do keep those guys on the field because they're going to just make more hits for you. They're going to wrap up, be more solid tacklers. If anybody runs a draw, they have better instincts to come towards the line of scrimmage. So let's take a look and see if they can even match up with a team like the New England Patriots. Let's see what we got. We're going to go man coverage here.
Yeah, we come out in a situation gun tight, 4 wide set. Now, a lot of times, if you come out the way people play, if you come out in gun tight, 4 wide, first thing you think of, okay, well, I'm going to audible down. They're probably in some type of dime, a lot of defensive backs in the field. Not with the case with the Bengals. You still keep those beefy linebackers on the field, and now you're able to set up and still be able to play and protect against the run. So here we have it. We've got a lot of linebackers on the field. We set up, get our halfback dive, pick up a couple yards. But that's the strength of the Bengals. Not every team can do this. First thing that you need to understand, not every team can play like this. Know your personnel, know your team, and really, if you have the speed at linebacker, consider using them.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a look at our next mailbag question and see what everybody has. We can get into the Bengals offense hopefully next week, but they do have some stuff to work with. Bruce Gradkowski, he's healthy now. He's playing. We used to love using him for the Raiders.
Yeah.
But you know what? Times change. Offenses change. I really think the Bengals can be a team this year that you can fool people with. You can catch them off guard. And I did mention that on the EA Sports Madden NFL podcast last week, which you can check out on iTunes for free. Let's take a look at the next question here and hop back into some action. From Charlie Cash. Now, this is one of the more beginner-type questions that we'll have tonight, and I really think that this is something very important, so I wanted to make sure that we touched on it. Who should I control on defense? I usually control a defensive lineman, and I'm going to say that at first, it's hard to get off that defensive lineman and go to a linebacker, go to a safety, because there's always the chance that you are going to mess up, and you're going to let up a touchdown, and it's literally going to be your assignment that you just didn't make the right read on. And it hurts, and you get angry, but if you can get over that and really learn your assignment, learn how to make user plays, you basically add a whole another player to your defense.
Right.
And I'm going to show you how you add another player in coverage and why, if you user somebody, it's great. So you're going to be blocking your halfback here, and I'm just going to basically give them a read. I'm going to go 2-man under. So look who we have on Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, Ray. So if he blocks his halfback, assuming I'm going to bring pressure, I now have the free responsibility to run around with Ray and really make a play. So I no longer have to worry about the halfback coming out of the back of the field if I'm covering him on my own.
Correct.
So now as soon as he sees him block and he sees man coverage, he tries to go to Welker. I'm able to kind of sneak over. And now I can make a play. I didn't have to worry about the halfback. Boom. And I mean, that's user defense. A lot of the times people will call zone in user defense. So as we can see here, Ben Jarvis Greenell stays in the block.
You drop off your
I stay right in the middle of the field, play a nice short zone over the middle. I could have hit that crossing route. I could have also, you know, dropped back on the curl. I know where my weakness is in zone defense.
Right.
I know curls are a weakness. If it's zone defense, it's a different story. Maybe I head over to the corner of the field to try and cut something off.
One quick note I want to add to what you just did there, Farls. If you go back to that two-man under here for me.
Yep.
So back to the two-man under. What I want you to do here is I want you to bring pressure left with Taylor Mays to the safety. Just blitz him off the left edge. Blitz him off the left edge. You know, if we don't get pressure, that's not the point here. But what we're trying to do here is another way you can play coverage, man coverage here. So you're still going to use your Ray, but you're going to drop the defensive end on the right side of the screen. You're going to put him in a purple zone. For me, please. Thank you. And then what you want to do here is user Ray.
Yep.
If Ben Jarvis Greenells.
Yep.
If he goes on a route to the right side of the field, you let him go.
Okay.
Why would you do that? Because you're putting a zone over there that's going to take that responsibility. If Ben Jarvis Greenells stays in the block, then you drop off. Or goes left. No, if he stays in the block, you drop off with Ray play coverage. If Ben Jarvis Greenells goes left, it is your responsibility to cover Ben Jarvis Greenells.
Gotcha.
All right? So here you have, Farls doesn't know what's going on.
All right. Up the, nope. Okay, so now I can drop off and go left. And if he wanted to go left there, his best read, the heat's coming off the left edge.
Right, so that's the idea. We're bringing pressure left. As you can see, we got pressure real quick with that safety off the edge.
That's the 46 Prima guide. Got to just plug it again because it's that good. If you want pressure, you want to force bad throws, you want to win games, just go get it.
But
and you can get it free right now.
A lot of times when I play games, guys always ask me, how'd you cover the halfback so well in the backfield? Because what I like to do is I always like to drop coverage to one side of the field, and then I don't have to worry about the halfback because halfbacks usually don't run vertical routes. And if they do, and you get burnt by it,
you got two safeties.
Right.
And it takes forever.
If you get burnt by it, you know then you adjust. But the idea, roll coverage one way. If the halfback goes that way towards that zone coverage, you let him go. You make a user play with that guy. It's a great way to add a extra defender to your defense.
And we're going to show you later. We won't get into it right now because I know we have some questions coming up that involve how to make user picks. That's a common question I get. And I guess sometimes we don't realize how many hours we put into this great game that we call Madden. So we do have the user skills, and it is tougher to get them on the fly, and you may be afraid to make plays. But one thing I always say is don't be afraid to make plays. Don't be afraid to click on, because you'd rather get beat and say, it was my fault, my fingers, my new wedding ring hit the controller. Not me, this guy. My new wedding ring hit the controller, and it's my fault. Not the computer screwed up because I was too afraid to take control. You know, they give us control for a reason. They let us turn off auto strafe for a reason. We can sprint for a reason. We have strafe. We have catch for a reason. We have SWAT for a reason. We got to control it. Let's not rely on the computer unless they're 99 overall. Because I know I'm 99 overall, but unless it's Troy Polamalu 99 overall.
Here's another thing, too, real quick on zone defense where you want to use her. A lot of times, a good beginner move to move to a linebacker in coverage. If you go to cover 3 here, Farls.
Oh, yep.
What you want to take a look at is Ray is in a yellow zone in the middle of the field. Just user that guy in a yellow zone. That's the safest zone to user because you just have to cover that middle of the field there. So just start roaming. Get a feel for how the game
reacts. How does he turn? Yeah, what does his legs do, you know?
And stay in that area. If you just stay in that area, you won't make that many mistakes. So just get comfortable.
As soon as you play this guy and you start lurking in the box, it's going to be more costly.
You got to be real good when you start using that safety.
But you'll learn, and then you'll learn your weakness, and then all of a sudden you have an extra defender instead of just rushing off the edge every play. And I used to always play Charles Haley, 1994, Dallas Cowboys, Madden, off the edge. But the line's a lot different. It's just better, I think, to use a middle linebacker or a safety, depending on your coverage, who's covering who.
And another thing too, about defense, if you're on the right side of the field, the right hash, as you can see here, first thing you're gonna think of is maybe user a guy on the right side of the field because that's a short side of the field there. So
less trouble.
You're less trouble here. So you're on the short side of the field.
Computer stays here.
So if you're in a zone, user Clements, or if you're in a zone, user the right side of the field because you're in the short side of the field, less mistakes. The sideline's your friend.
Sideline's your friend.
Sideline's another defender.
I like that. All right, next question because we got a lot to get through tonight. Hopefully everything's going well in the chat. We got a lot of good people in there, a lot of guys that can answer your questions. MG Comedy, shout out.
The Mole's in the house.
The Mole's in the house?
Guacamole's in the house. The guy that had that greatest TWIM ever.
Cookie Monster's back. Zan's back. So there's a lot of guys who know their stuff in that chat. So if you're a newer guy or you're newer to the show, we trust those guys, and we really want you guys to ask them questions. If you say, hey, wait, what did they say about the sideline? The sideline, what do they mean? Those guys are going to be the guys that are going to get you those answers that you need. So let's take a look into more mailbag questions here and see what else we have from Lotto.
Oh, none other than Lotto.
Lotto.
Just talking about him.
How do you defeat the 1-5-5 and the 3-4 shake? I played a guy. I tried running in short passes, but it was a no-go. I went max protect, and he would go max coverage. So he's kind of using some of those concepts we just talked about. He was just mixing in man and zone, which is a good way. Let's take a call. I believe we have D Hiatus calling in from Gaming in the Cut. Is Donnie on the line right now?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Donnie? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. How y'all doing, man? I'm loving what y'all got going over here, man. I'm trying to fight through this little bit of Wi-Fi interference that I have, but I'm managing to get through it.
Well, thank you very much. So, Donnie right now on the line, D Hiatus, as some of you guys know from GamingInTheCut.com. He's an EA Sports game changer. We were able to meet him down at EA Sports Orlando when we went down there. Donnie, what is your favorite thing so far about Madden 12, and how many hours have you been putting in for it?
Man, I don't even know if I have logged in the amount of hours I've been putting in. Now, I know it's a lot, but my favorite mode, of course, is the franchise mode, man. This is too lovely for me right now. The free agent bidding, all that stuff, man, I'm loving it. So, you know, I'm keeping myself entertained.
What team have you been running with, and what's the team you think? Because we have a lot of, we're getting a lot of new guys who have fortunately been coming over from EA that are big franchise guys. It's, you know, obviously the most played mode. What are some tips you have for some of the new features that they put in, and maybe a team or a player that you can advise on that you trust?
Okay, right now, of course, you know, I run my skins. You know, I'm trying to improve them. I find that to be a challenge. But so far, over online, I've been using the Jaguars a lot, and I did start up another franchise with them. I like Blaine Gabbert, even though he's like what an overall 73 or 74. His accuracy is pretty solid, and you know, on the run he's pretty good as well. So you know, I've been running with them a lot.
Excellent news, excellent news. Now you guys host a show, the EA Sports Game Changers Roundtable. It's a great podcast. You guys did a great job leading up to the game. Tons of news, tons of information for the guys that really like to play those type of modes and everything. Now, what's your biggest thing of advice out there for the guys in the community who really have, you know, you've put in a ton of work in this community and you've done a really great job helping everybody out.
Man.
And do you think that's the key, is just helping people more than you try and help yourself, or just some notes to the community that will get you where you are right now?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's not about yourself, you know, as a game changer or just being a part of the whole Madden community or just EA Sports community. It's about showing love to each other and, you know, just showing support. You know, if someone's having a hard time or, you know, catching on to a philosophy of the game or just having a hard time with the learning curve, you know, it's about, you know, helping them out and, you know, just making them a better person as an overall gamer. You know, that's what gets you noticed. That's what gets you into the Game Changer program, and just overall, just, you know, gets you. It just overall helps everybody out, man, and it makes everything evolve around each other.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. Quickly back to the franchise mode. What's your favorite aspect of franchise? Why are you a franchise guy?
Right now, my favorite aspect would be probably the free agent bidding, and I love the preseason cut players, the whole you know, cutting your players type thing. What was the other question you had for me?
Just overall, what's your favorite part of franchise mode? Do you like to build your team? Do you like to usually take them for 15 years? How do you usually build your franchise?
Oh yeah, the longevity has always been the thing. I try to go for, you know, the scouting. I get in there and try to find me a little down in the rough. Maybe find that overall 80-something, 84 guy in the 6th, 7th round. Crop them up in the preseason and just give them a starting position. I love getting new players into the game that, you know, and putting them with the guys that already exist, and just having that feel of accomplishment that I took that guy to the next level.
Absolutely. All right, Donnie, thank you very much for calling in. Give a shout out, give a plug for the EA Sports Game Changers Roundtable, and if you want to talk a little bit about our game that we had at EA Sports, you can. I mean, it was a great battle, epic battle. Donnie, this is how you know he's a class guy. We just battled so hard, and he just did the right thing, and there's something to be said for that. So that's why we love this guy.
Yeah, definitely, man. I love y'all too, man. Y'all keep up the good work, and just do your thing, man.
All right.
Thanks,
we will talk to you later. Thanks again.
All right, no problem.
All right, so we are about to jump into even more mailbag questions. We were just on one talking about the 1-5-5 shake and the 3-3-5 or the 3-4 shake. So if we want to hop in on defense here, now this is something that we talked a little bit about the newer players, who to use her, who not to use her on defense, and what you should do. The key here is this is for more advanced guys. This is something that when you see it online, you're going to know. Okay, I heard about this on This Week in Madden. SGibs was telling me I got to do this. Now, what was it? So you're really going to want to pay attention here, and I think this can help make you a better player.
Now the 1-5-5, a lot of times, people institute what's called the shake, the 1-5-5 shake. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. We like to take advantage of it. Falls here is going to come out in some type of shotgun formation.
I'm going to come out in the shotgun. I was checking out. I think a lot of people thought I said cornerback, but I did say quarterback, and we do have a correct answer on here. We have a couple. So I'm going to read those in a few minutes. So that's what I was checking on, but I'm going to come out here in something that I would usually come out in, a nice little base play, a little mesh.
So what the people are doing, they will spread the linebackers in, they'll spread them out, spread them in, and what they're trying to do is just get a quick blitz. What we think about that,
it looks scary.
It looks scary, but
it does look scary.
It does look very scary. Hang in the pocket, deliver the ball. But I like to run the ball. If you're going to see something cute like this, something that you've never seen before, start running the magic bean, because running the ball is the equalizer in any of these situations. So here you have it again. Just run the ball. Try and get some positive yards. Falls with Cedric Benson didn't even go up the middle. He cut it outside.
I really like to toss it against us. I don't have the toss audible set up from the balance guide, but that's what I would go with here because they're weak to the edge here. I used to run this defense in Madden 10 a little bit similarly. So I know the weakness of it, and the weakness is hitting the halfback out of the backfield, usually uncovered if they're sloppy, or tossing it outside, just timing it right and making sure you can hit that toss. So you'll see that certain guys will bust out this tactic against you, but the biggest thing is to take a deep breath. It's nothing you've ever seen. I remember I saw it out of 3-4 last year. I was over at Gibbs playing some games, and I kind of freaked out a little bit, and he just told me to kind of like
there you go.
Relax. He was just like, hey, man, relax. That guy's uncovered in the flat. Let this guy do that to you all day. Keep throwing to him until he gets out of this defense.
It's scary because it's something you're not used to seeing, but stick to your game plan. You run the 5 sets for success for a reason because you want a formula. You want to be the best player in the world. And if you stick to that formula, you stick to the 5 sets for success, you will be better. You can beat this. No doubt about it. Don't panic. Stay calm. Run your scheme. Run the ball. Oh, what are you doing here? Go on the flat. There you go. There you go. Oh, hit sticks. So, moral of the story,
you have one-on-one.
We like running the ball. If you have a pass-heavy offense, remain calm. Hit your option. If they're going to bring 6 guys, they're bringing 6 guys. What's that mean? One-on-one. Go up top when you're fast guys. Get a user.
It's going to be man-to-man. It's basically never zone. Here's the thing with the 1-5-5. Is it still true this year?
What?
Not very good flat defense in the 1-5-5.
You got cover 2-6. You can run right here. Cover 2-6.
But you can still. I feel like you can still hit the flat there.
You can still sneak in there.
So you have that option. If they're in zone, if they're in man, you have the curls because you have one-on-one matchups. If they're in zone, you have the ability to work the sideline or work the flat. Let me see what I got here.
Pressure comes
that's the example of how it comes in.
But still, you hit the flat, chip away.
Chip away.
If they're in zone, flood the zone with a trips formation. It's all about adjustments. There's no perfect play for one play. It's about making adjustments. It's about being able to out-adjust your opponent.
Try it again. I'm going to see if I can block the halfback. We have man look here. This is what I would do in man, basically. Oh, and the heat came off the left. Pretty nice.
Pressure came in quick, but you got to remain calm, stay in the pocket.
I actually blocked the wrong side, unfortunately, so that's actually my bad. We'll try this.
Pressure comes. Pressure will come. You block guys. If you see man coverage, I mean, made a good play, but if you see man coverage, you throw curls. I'm telling you right now. You see man coverage, throw curls. You're going to see us do it all the time. It's extremely difficult to stop curl routes against man coverage this year. You can stop curls with zones, but if you see man-to-man coverage with no zones in support, run a couple curls.
All right. Next mailbag question. We're going to jump in and see what we have here. A lot of good ones. We're still chatting. We're using the hashtag TWIM to answer questions. We told you guys about our iPad app for Prima Madden. Simply head over to iTunes, Music Store, or you can download it there. Tons of stuff in it. It's basically a lot of the team stuff in the guide, all on the app. So you got to like that. So we'll hop in and take a look at that next mailbag question here. And we have it from I. Robson, who wants to know, help with the Pats, stopping Pats single back deuce, wing halfback smash, counter, toss. And you know what that sounds like?
Sounds a lot like the...
It sounds a lot like we don't even have to go to the Pats offense because this guy has clearly picked up the Prima Madden guide.
He knows.
Yep. He knows the key. You want to swap out? Or you
I mean, you don't need it. We're not in the Pats playbook. But the idea is it's a three-headed rushing attack.
So
run
basically,
left, middle, and right.
Exactly. That's the key. We'll see if we have a better formation for it here. So we can do power out, toss, ISO. You'd like to see a counter, but multiple formations do. And people, we have chosen the best playbooks. The three that we have, the bundle, which gets you the free D, will get you, some of the things that we use. So this guy, basically, by playing sound run defense, as we showed earlier with the inverted cover 2 from earlier in the night, if I choose to run it up the middle, you'll be ready. If I choose to run it outside, you'll be ready. If I audible to the toss and swing it out wide, you're going to be ready.
I'm balanced. I'm feel fine against the run. Whatever you want to do, I'm good. I got balance. The idea is you set the edge. Don't let the run get outside of your defense. Force it back up to the middle of the field. Funnel it back up to the middle. As you can see here, outside containment's kept there. On the right side, our left flat receiver actually got funneled into that block, but we actually had outside support coming.
The reason I didn't go wide right there is if I went wide, that guy is going to go wide. Since I went back in the middle, he's going to go back in the middle.
Right.
That guy right there.
The linebacker, because the linebacker's free. Spikes.
Yeah, he would have swung out wide if I went wide. I mean, that's how you run the football.
The idea, though, again, keep balance, run the inverted cover 2. What that, again, is putting 9 defenders in the box. Here you have it again. We spread the defensive, crash the defensive line. We're going to move our linebackers out, make sure we have outside containment here with both our flat zones. Keep the run back to the middle of the field. Use your chung up in the box. Hey, we'll give up a 4-yard carry. That's part of the 3-headed
That's part of not getting broken out to the outside. You know what I mean?
Again, just keep the containment. Oh. You'll see me do it tonight. You're going to see me do it in the game of the week tonight. I'm telling you right now, you're going to see it. You're going to know what it is. You're going to go, oh, that's what he was talking about. What happened there?
Yep. Vince Wilfork decided to...
Oh, Mike Wright. He did the Mike Wright.
Take out the center, yeah.
All right. Oh, I was not set up. Thank you for calling height.
No problem. My bad.
You'll let me get there with a free safety there, guys.
Just got to mess with SGibs. He comes back from Jamaica, thinks he knows a little bit something, and he does, but I've just been doing this for a whole week extra. I'm not as tan, not as handsome, but I can still play some John Madden football.
Yeah, make a good play with Chung. Chung is the extra defender in the box. That is what makes this whole thing tick.
And the key here is, so with the Pats wing, the biggest thing is he mentioned in his thing that the user middle linebacker is getting bottled up. Never get bottled up with your user player against the run. You need to stay wide. Watch, I'm going to call the power out. Show him the swoop.
Okay.
This is what I call the ZFarls swoop on run defense. Very important. We are checking out the stream, making sure it's not choppy for you guys. Don't worry, we got Zach in the back working on it. If it is, it looks good over here, and we're getting reports on it being good. All right.
So here's the swoop. What we would do is come out wide here.
This is the swoop. So if the toss comes or the counter weak comes, you want to do the swoop.
Get outside, funnel it back in.
It's not even about...
You want to just make them scared.
It's not about making the tackle. It's just about keeping it bottled inside and eating a blocker sometimes if it's necessary. It's like diving on a grenade for your team.
We did right there. Perfect. Look at that. We ate that blocker.
You eat number 36,
Num.
which frees up our other defender to make the play. If you don't take that guy out, now you're going to have, and you don't stay wide, that run's going somewhere. But since you did the ZFarls swoop, it's all good.
The ZFarls swoop. All right, here it is again. And he comes in again.
You ate the blocker, and you helped it out. We're going to take a 1-minute break on This Week in Madden. We'll be right back with more mailbag questions. I want to check on this winner, and I'll let you know
winner, chicken dinner.
Who is the winner of this show.
Who's getting it?
Who's getting it for the show. Okay, that's no problem.
So it should be.
Okay. Should I go offline?